Hey everybody, it's old Chaplain V, back for another look at step number 10, where we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it. Well, the last view of step number 10, we kind of got into the theory of the step and the fact that, we want to make sure that we take an inventory and we reflect on things, or rather than just be reactive and be slow to speak and quick to listen, follow some of the things that we've learned all through the last 9 steps as a result of our spiritual awakening and our spiritual growth. But this time we're going to look a little more at the practical application. I like to use the Lord's Prayer, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Well, the Lord's going to arrange our circumstances where sometimes it's going to get nasty. I like to think of the Israelites, as I've said before. 40 years in the desert is a long time. A lot of snakes and scorpions, and it was a trust issue to really trust. We can trust in the theory of God, but the trust doesn't always happen, when things are going down and our amygdala is active. And, my kids were raised by a dysfunctional, happy drunk, and when Grandma had her accident and everybody wants to be around helping Grandma, boy, the personalities are coming out hard and heavy. And so especially when Grandma's hurting, we all want to help Grandma. But the point is, sometimes a little bit goes too far, and we all kind of struggle with each other, and we get a little short with each other. But that's where my part comes in, because I've had a spiritual awakening, and this is an opportunity for me to be a servant. So how well can I serve? And what I've learned is just keeping a zip on my lip is a very difficult thing to do sometimes. So as we practice all these principles that we've learned, and the problem is no pain, no gain. Many are the troubles of the just man. My sponsor used to say, it's going to get messy, because the only way we're going to get to the deep part of that's that onion theory. Well, our subconscious is like a big heavy onion, and you got these thin layers that we have to unfold, as we're tempted and we're challenged to really realize that we're either trusting the Lord or we're not trusting the Lord. And when we're not trusting the Lord, things are going to get complicated, but that's when we reflect. And so I've learned a lot about, trusting, and especially when I'm not thinking. And so my sponsor used to say, how many relapses does it take to finally understand the first step? That we are powerless over our addiction to our instincts and our subconscious behavior and all these bad habits and mindsets that we have. Well, this is another short video. God bless you, everybody. Thank you for watching. So we'll have a little more on step number 10.